I don't know about you, but I'm ready for the Dolphins to do the impossible. I'm ready for the feel-good story to be the Miami Dolphins this year, and it all revolves around one player. We've seen that, and that one player is Tua Tagovailoa, and I'm going to tell you why the schedule favors the Dolphins finding a way to make the playoffs. I really think they could. They've won 4 out of 5. I'm going to look at the schedule of the teams in front of them, 2 of them. I'm going to look at their schedule, and we are going to take a look ahead at what they're doing in that schedule to make it happen. But before that, I want to talk a little bit about Tua Tagovailoa. He has been playing really good football. And against this Jets defense, this once vaunted Jets defense that is not so much anymore, he threw this last weekend for 331 yards. He had a pair of touchdowns, including that game winner in overtime. All right, Aaron Rodgers, please retire. We'll see you later. All right, they have the same record as the Colts at 6-7, and they're 2 games back of Denver at 8-5 for the final wild card spot. They're also 2 games back of the Chargers. All right, both those teams are sitting at 8-5. Denver looks to be surging. Chargers seem to be losing steam, but I'm going to tell you why it's actually Denver that I think is the team that you could leapfrog. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be difficult. I get that. But I want to show you this quote by a couple of teammates and his coach. Here's what he said. Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel said this. He said, I don't think 2 years ago this game occurs. He said, Tua continues to get better. It's a lot of work, and all of his work is paying off because he's a naturally gifted quarterback. Not only the skill sets, but people gravitate towards him. He makes people better. That's incredibly important part of the position. You have the best wide receiver on this team talking about this. He said he's been playing lights out. He's been a great leader for this team, not only on offense, but also for defense, getting those guys going. We've just got to follow him, follow Tua. Man, follow his standard, because the standard is the standard, and he's been playing at a high level, and guys around him are just got to match it. All right? He's been there. He has been playing really well, and he played best when it was in crunch time. He was 6 of 7 on that winning touchdown drive on Sunday. All right? Then that throw to Jonnu Smith, that was such a hard throw. That was not easy. So it was really impressive seeing what is going on. Players are calling him, saying he's playing out of his mind. They're saying that he's been commanding. All these things he's said. He said he's really made sure. Jalen Waddle, wide receiver, said he really made sure we didn't kill ourselves with penalties. He wanted everybody to lock in and just hone in on the details. That was big. He came through, made big plays, was calm in the pocket. O-line had great protection. He delivered the ball. Here's what I love most about this. You have wide receivers that, let's be honest, Waddle and Tyreek Hill are not having the best seasons of their careers. And here we are in December, and they're talking about how great their quarterback is. I think that's really cool. And Tua continues to throw to Jonnu a lot. And what that tells me is you have wide receivers who usually can be a little diva-like, and they like to have all that. And yet they're sitting here, and it's like, okay, well, here we go. We think he's good. We like it. So how does the schedule match up for this team? What does it look like? Well, it's very interesting, because with the Miami Dolphins, if they're playing you in good weather, you're feeling good about it. You're feeling good about it. So first they go, you can see down here, to Houston. And then they have San Francisco at home. We'll see where San Francisco's at. The last few weeks, they've looked like completely different teams. If they're out of the playoffs, then that could be a tough game. If they're still fighting for their playoff lives, if they're out of the playoffs, that could be an easy game for you. If they're still fighting for their playoff lives, good luck. Then they have Cleveland, New York. I like Cleveland and New York on the road to end the season, and I'm going to tell you why that makes it better for the playoffs after we look at the teams you're chasing down. First, let's look at the team that is closest to you, the Indianapolis Colts. They have the same exact record. Look, not very difficult games to end the year. Tennessee, New York, Jacksonville. But first they got Denver. They have to go to Denver. So my thought process, they go to Denver, they lose that one. Even when they're winning, they're not winning by scoring a lot of points. or their defense has not been playing that great. So I think, as weird as it sounds, one of these they could let up. Maybe Tennessee, something like that. But that's the team that you're even with. You got to beat them. I understand that. Really, it's Project 4-0 here to end the year. You got to finish at 10-7. You got to go 4-0. If you go 3-1, you have a chance, but it's small. All right, Chargers, I don't think you catch them. They have 2 games that they might play that are tricky, Tampa Bay and Denver, but it's at home. And then the 2 games that they have left on the road are not tricky. But I will tell you this. Going to Las Vegas and playing the Raiders has been a house of horrors for the Chargers. It has not gone well for them. So just know that could be a tricky game. Now let's look at the Broncos, because this is the team, as weird as it sounds, I think this is the team you have the best chance to catch. First, they play the Colts. That's not easy. All right? That's not easy, but I think they get a win in that game. But then they have to travel to L.A. They have to travel to Cincinnati. Then they have Kansas City. This is, if you play well, a 2-2 finish to the season. All right? Very easily a 1-3. So if you have Project 4-0, you caught them. You have caught them. It is not that crazy to think about. And when you look at this, you got the Chargers here, you have the Broncos. Yes, they're firmly, and yes, the Colts, I get it. They have the bye, or not the bye, but they have the tiebreak on you right now. All right? Those things could be changing depending on wins and losses, stuff like that. But here you are. You're right here. You're right here. Give it a go. All right? Give it a shot. I know it's small, but there is a chance that you guys can pull this off. And even if you don't, just remember that this is a team that is a good football team when fully healthy. This is a team that's won 4 out of 5. Sure, I get it. It was LA, but the Rams have been playing pretty good football. It was Vegas. It was New England. It was New York. I get it. All right? But even if you don't win this, you're going to have a 3rd place schedule next year. That's going to be in your favor. That's 3 games. I don't know if you know how the schedule works, but every team plays 6 games in their own division. Okay, then you play another division in your in the AFC, so that's 10 games. Then everybody from your division plays a division across cross conference, so from the NFC, so that gets you to 14 games. So we have 6 games in your division, 4 more against another division from the AFC. I don't know whose theirs is next year. All right, then you have 4 games against a division from the NFC. All right, so you'll have that, and it's not the North because you played the North this year, which is the hardest division to play. All right. No, you didn't play the North. I'm sorry, you didn't play the North. You played the NFC West. All right, so that's not the easiest either. And then you have 3 remaining games. If you finish 3rd in your division, you play all 3 of those games against teams that also finish 3rd in their division. If you finish 2nd in your division, you play all 3 of those games against teams that also finish 2nd in your division. So that is the schedule you'll have. I said 3rd. I don't know why. Obviously, you're going to be ahead of New England. You're going to be ahead of the Jets. All right? But you're not going to have that number 1 either. So that it's kind of unique the way that goes. Schedule can kind of be in your favor. All right. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you like it. Hopefully the Dolphins can get something done. See you in the next one.